I've had a lot of time to sit back and reflect on the Chiefs' loss to the Eagles yesterday, and while at first I was pretty disappointed with the offensive showing, I'm coming away from this game feeling more optimistic about the state of this team. Even though they're starting off their season 0-2, they just held a very talented offense to 20 points, and in fact, the Eagles totaled 216 yards in this game, and the Chiefs have only lost one game since 2009 when allowing fewer than 220 yards, and it was that game against the Raiders on Christmas Day, and then to the Eagles. So if we just look at the Chiefs' defense, they looked night and day better in week 2 than they did in week 1, but I am coming away from this game with one major concern, and that is if the running game is going to be good enough. So we're going to talk about that in this video, but if you guys are new to this channel, my name is Michael Darcy and you're listening to the KC Sports Report. Do me a big time favor and hit that like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe for more daily Chiefs coverage. The Chiefs rushed the ball in this game against the Eagles 26 times. Patrick Mahomes, for the second week in a row, was the Chiefs' leading rusher. He had 7 carries for 66 yards and 1 touchdown. He was averaging, on his scrambles, 9.4 yards per attempt. Followed by Kareem Hunt, who had the second most carries as a running back, the second most carries among the running backs, with 8 carries for 31 yards, averaging 3.9 per attempt. Not great, but he's a short yardage back. The real issue is that Isaiah Pacheco had 10 carries for 22 yards. He averaged 2.2 yards per carry. That's not good enough. You cannot expect to win football games when your perceived number one running back is averaging 2.2 a carry. I mean, that's god-awful. And I want to go ahead and talk about some advanced metrics because a lot of Chiefs fans think that the offensive line is the issue, or maybe Isaiah Pacheco shouldn't be to blame for all of the rushing issues. I want to read this stat. This is from Next Gen Stats from the NFL. This is rush yards over expected per attempt. So how many rush yards you are getting more than you're expected to on a given attempt. And if we just go down and look at Isaiah Pacheco, actually, we'll start with Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt has a positive total with 0.13. Isaiah Pacheco has a negative 1.12 rush yards over expected per attempt. So he is getting fewer yards than expected per rushing attempt. And it's very clear to see if you just look at his rushing stats this season over last season, he hasn't been a good player. Isaiah Pacheco is someone that has been so bad on this team that you can't even put him out there in certain situations. The Chiefs want to have him out there on third down for, pass blocking because he's one of their best pass blockers. The issue is, if you give him the ball on third and short on fourth down, he's not going to get those tough yards. He hasn't gotten those tough yards. Kareem Hunt has been significantly more efficient, and he deserves to be out there on third and fourth down. Pacheco, for what he gives you in terms of pass blocking, I'm not sure if that makes up for, him not being able to get the first down, not being able to, keep drives going. He's a first and second down back that really isn't very good on first and second down. He's too slow to run outside the tackles, so you have to run him up the middle and, have him basically follow Creed Humphrey up front. And if the offensive line isn't getting push up front, you can't, give him a toss and say, get outside the tackles and use your speed to get something for this offense. He's too slow. He's too slow to run outside the tackles, and it has presented some major problems for this Chiefs team. I truly believe that the Chiefs' inability to run the football is one of the reasons why this offense is stale. Now, I know a lot of people are frustrated with the offensive play calling. They ran the ball yesterday. They actually ran the ball. It wasn't a ton, but 26 attempts. And if you want to take away the 7 scrambles from Patrick Mahomes, they rushed the ball 19 times. So if you rush the ball 19 times, you should be getting close to that 100-yard mark. And if you want to take Patrick Mahomes' rushing stats out of it, the running backs were nowhere close to 100 yards. And so the Chiefs have an issue. They can't run the football unless Patrick Mahomes is scrambling. And I don't want to see Patrick Mahomes be this team's leading rusher week after week. That is not a recipe for sustained success. And I think it's one of the reasons why this offense has been so bad, because you cannot throw the ball well when defenses know that you're going to throw the ball on every single play. The Chiefs can't run the ball. The Chiefs, and specifically Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt, they don't instill any fear in opposing defenses, opposing defensive coordinators. They are daring the Chiefs to run the ball because they know they can't. And so I think that is a massive issue. And this is something that they have got to figure out, because if they can't, the offense is going to continue to struggle. I feel like we've seen this over and over again. Andy Reid is very hesitant to run the ball, and especially this season, he's hesitant to run the ball because his backs aren't any good. And I blame Brett Veach, I blame Andy Reid for not addressing this in the offseason. They waited until the 7th round to draft Brashard Smith, who in this game had 1 carry for 2 yards, so you basically didn't use him. But the Chiefs have neglected the running back position for years now, and it's finally starting to catch up to them. Because, I mean, if we're just talking about where the Chiefs' running game ranks throughout the NFL, they might be the worst in the league. And legitimately, they might have the worst running game in the league. There might be 30 or 40 running backs that you would take over Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt. I mean, teams have backups that are better than the Chiefs' running game. How much would you kill to have A.J. Dillon as the lead back on this team? He's the Eagles' second stringer. How badly would you want like a Tyler Algier who backs up Bijan Robinson? The Chiefs do not have any explosiveness in that room, and a guy they signed this offseason, and Elijah Mitchell, he's been a healthy scratch the first 2 weeks of the season. So their plans at running back haven't worked out, and it's been apparently very clear, and I think this is something that if they don't correct, is going to follow them the rest of the year. But I want to talk more about this, and we'll do that right after the break.
This video is sponsored by my friends over at DM Injury Law. Injured in an accident, you could be entitled to significant compensation, but time is critical. Rely on the experienced personal injury attorneys at DM Law, Kansas City and Missouri's top injury law firm. DM Law is a full-service personal injury practice supported by a large team of investigators, case managers, medical records specialists, and more. And best of all, you don't pay unless they win. DM Law operates on a contingency fee basis, meaning no fees unless they win your case. And they also provide free consultations. So if you've been injured, don't wait. You can contact DM Law today for a free consultation and learn how they can help you pursue the compensation you deserve. Let them handle the fight while you focus on healing. Hurt in a car wreck? Call Mike. Remember, Mike's got this. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisement. Thanks to DM Injury Law for sponsoring this video.
Huge thanks to the sponsors that support this channel all football season long. Now, getting back into the main topic of this video, I think the Chiefs can fix the running game. I think it does also include the offensive line being better in run blocking. The Chiefs' offensive line, and specifically guys like Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith, were not good against the Eagles. Their run blocking grades were pretty low. And so I want to see, the offensive line actually get push up front, and maybe that results in a little bit of a better running game. But I do think the biggest issue is lack of talent in that room. And so what do the Chiefs do? I think they should heavily consider a trade. There's guys like, Breece Hall of the Jets, Devon Achane in Miami. Bad teams might be willing to move off their running backs, if you give them a good offer. And I would absolutely welcome some real talent in that running back room. Someone with explosiveness, someone that could catch the ball out of the backfield or at least run outside the tackles. That's what makes me want to pull my hair out. Pacheco is so slow and, unathletic in this sense that he can't run outside the tackles. So it has to go up the middle every single time. And even when he's running up the middle, his legs might move very quickly and he might run like he's angry, but he's not getting very far. Again, 10 attempts for 22 yards, 2.2 yards a carry. That's a huge sample size. 10 carries isn't nothing. And the fact that he's unplayable on 3rd and 4th down, the Chiefs have to make a decision, and they got to make a decision quick. Because if they continue to neglect the running game, then the offense is going to continue being stale because defenses know that you're going to throw the football. I think that's one of the bigger issues. The offense is good. I think Patrick Mahomes has showed you this season that, he's still got it. He's still the best quarterback in football. You're missing your top 2 pass catchers in Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy. Once those guys come back, I think the passing game will be better. Right now, you're relying on Travis Kelce and I guess Tyquan Thornton and Hollywood Brown to carry the load of this offense, and it hasn't been working. And so you've seen Patrick Mahomes, because he can't hand the ball off and trust his running backs, he's had to scramble. He's had to make plays with his legs, and he's done it. He's capable of doing it because he's that good. But in this specific offense, the way that it flows, the way that it is designed to work, you can't have Patrick Mahomes as your leading rusher. It's not going to work out well. And so I think the Chiefs absolutely should consider going out and trading for an explosive running back. And, we'll talk about that in other videos in the future. I mainly just wanted to highlight my concern with this running game going forward. If you cannot run the football, you're going to have a hard time, being successful on offense. So I want to hear from you guys down in the comment section below. That's all I've got for this video. Hit that like button. If you're watching at this point in the video, hit that subscribe button and pat yourself on the back. Go listen to us on Apple and Spotify. And until next time, guys, thank you for watching this video. And as always, go Chiefs.